Football club have always been battlers.
For popular skipper Doug Hawkins, who features heavily in the campaign, the new year heralds a new era.
It's a new atmosphere. What I say is probably it's Footscray now. It's all Footscray.
No, you can't beat the boys of the Bulldog breed who saved old Footscray's name.
The Bears also were battling for survival. The club's future hung in the balance with the collapse of the Quintex group. The players were totally disenchanted and took matters into their own hands, refusing to play in pre-season competition matches until the structure of club management was finalised and player payments were forthcoming.
It's like anything, if the structure of the club is not correctly and it's not happy, it's going to filter down onto the field. There was a gap between management and players, and I think that was widening as the years went on, and I think it's come to loggerheads right now.
Their unprecedented stand brought immediate action. Chairman Paul Cronin resigned. So too did General Manager John Dixon. The Bears football team was a ship without a rudder and sinking fast.
We've got a very confused football club at this point of time. Players won't play because of lack of contract conditions. I think we can expect that in the next week those things should be solved. The players, I understand, are very happy now with the arrangements that have been reached with Paul Cronin, and they're raring to go.
Enter Ruben Pellerman. The Gold Coast developer joined forces with Noel Gordon to refloat the Bears ship, and the new administration was quick to act. Coach Paul Feltham was a casualty. He was replaced by Norm Dare. Player payments and contracts were settled. At last, stability on and off the field for the Bears. But it didn't come in time for them to be a part of the Foster's Cup. It was, however, the Foster's Cup that heralded the rebirth of the Bulldogs. The boys from the West opened to proceedings at AFL Park on February the 7th.
Well smothered. Close to the
With the struggle for survival behind them, the Bulldogs began their 1990 campaign in front of almost 20,000 fans at Waverley. Inaccurate kicking early cost Footscray dearly, and it wasn't until the last quarter they were able to stamp their authority on the game. Campbell finished with 4 goals, and skipper Doug Hawkins was inspirational in his side's 21-point win.
Hand pass goes towards Kellett, back to Hawkins. Hawkins goes for goal, and that is class.
With the Bears out of the competition, the best of the first-round losers, the West Coast Eagles, got another chance. This time, they came up against North Melbourne. Like Footscray, the Eagles' kicking for goal was miserable. They managed just 11 behinds in the first half. The young Kangaroos under new coach Wayne Schimmelbusch took advantage of the Eagles' errors and won a thriller by 2 points.
50 to standing start this time, and he's drilled another one.
The city of Canberra hosted the Swans Hawthorn clash. For the first time, Australian rules infiltrated rugby league lines and played at the Bruce Stadium. The visit to the national capital was not a happy one for the Hawks. They lost dynamic rover John Platten with strained medial ligaments, and they also lost the game by 10 points. The Swans appeared to have overcome problems up forward.
Oh, another one! Oh, this kicked them flying.
Bernard Toohey finished the match with 5, as did November draft pick Shane Fell. The standout game of the Foster's Cup was the quarter-final match between Essendon and Fitzroy. Fitzroy dominated the first half, but the Bombers fought back, and with just 6 seconds left on the clock, Paul Salmon marked 25 metres out.
Duckworth's kick a short to Essendon. Mark Salmon! The last kick of the match from Salmon, and he could level the scores. So Paul Salmon, who's only 15 metres from goal on a very slight angle, can level the scores. Salmon goes bang, and he's levelled the scores.
Last year, they would have played on until the next score decided it. But a rule change over the summer provided for 2 5-minute extra periods. But which way to go? For Essendon, Simon Madden took charge. They decided to change ends. Wrong. During the confusion, Kevin Sheedy ran onto the ground. Wrong again. Coaches not allowed. But that didn't deter Fitzroy's Rod Austin either.
No one knew the rules. We knew we had to play 5 minutes, but it was 5 minutes each end. We just sort of regrouped and got together and said, go on, let's work hard.
When the confusion died down, the only score in extra time decided the game. Simon Madden was paid the mark.
He'll mark it. Yes, Simon Madden. No, he's dropped it. Oh, and the umpire has awarded the mark. Drop punt kick. Looks pretty good. It's a goal to Westman. They've hit the front.
The resultant kick and goal gave the Bombers a 6-point lead, and that was the final winning margin. In a history-making series, it was the closest shave yet for the Bombers as they advanced to the grand final. In the final, they met North Melbourne in front of nearly 49,000 fans, and it was the Bombers who jumped away early. Wingman Greg Anderson continued his night series form with another polished performance.
It's floating back. It's a magnificent goal to Anderson.
But it was skipper Tim Watson who lifted his side in the third quarter to take the Bombers to a 37-point lead. Try as they may, North was unable to close the gap, and the final winning margin was 36 points.
Essendon has won the 1990 Foster's Cup Grand Final.
It was rugged. It had a lot of qualities that a grand final's all about. It was a fast game, it was a hard game, and you know, towards the end of the game, and at the end, you really know you've been in a grand final. And all credit goes to the team. They really put up a great show.
To the winners, Essendon, $95,000. And now their sights were set on the home and away competition and another flag.
So a great start for the Bombers, in effect creating history, winning the first premiership under the AFL banner. The night competition was merely a pipe opener to a marvellous season. A feature being some outstanding contests and close finishes. We'll have them shortly.
Good afternoon, Kim Sporton with the Newsroom latest. Embattled Quintex chief Christopher Skase has arrived at Brisbane Airport. Ushered through a side gate to avoid waiting media, he's due in court tomorrow morning. And police search for clues to the death of a man at Murniong whose body was discovered by walkers late yesterday. Also, a Brisbane house fire leaves 1 dead and 2 firefighters injured. I'll have more news at 5.
6 o'clock weeknights, 7 nightly news with Jennifer Kite.
Well, Dipper, what would you recommend?
Quattro venti.
Quattro what?
Tender piping hot meat, bathed in a delicately spiced, exquisite gravy, then encased in a golden pastry envelope.
It's the truth.
More 4 and 20s, maestro. Going right up. Quattro e venti.
4 and 20. Ripper, Dipper. Oi, can we see the beer list?
No worries.
4 and 20. The great Australian taste.
Presenting the designer smile, created by EpiSmile. Alluring, dazzling, so very brilliant. EpiSmile, the everyday cosmetic whitener for your teeth. This really works. EpiSmile. Now when you smile, you can measure the whiteness. This year, it's the designer smile. Whiteness you can measure. EpiSmile.
This is a Vax, the powerful vacuum cleaner with 3-stage filtering for perfect daily vacuuming. This is a Vax, the vacuum cleaner with a powerful turbulent washing action that washes carpets and upholstery deep down clean. And this is a Vax, the vacuum cleaner that easily soaks up spills from carpets and hard floors. All this in one vacuum cleaner. Vax, the powerful vacuum cleaner that washes.
Introducing Elizabeth Taylor's passion for men.
Give me the man that is not passion's slave.
Elizabeth Taylor's passion for men.
A cure for hepatitis, the non-alcoholic wine that tastes like the real thing, and a machine that makes fast food faster. Beyond 2000, 10 o'clock Tuesday.
We got an idea just what an exciting season it would be from the opening round. Sydney journeyed to Princes Park to meet Carlton, a team they hadn't beaten at that ground since 1965. And at half-time in this particular clash, things weren't looking too good for Sydney. They trailed by 45 points.
Blackwell to Reece Jones. Crowd love that. Away he comes towards half forward. Black is taken by Bradley. In trouble, but got the hand pass away. Garui's a good kick from 50 metres out. Oh, it's a beauty.
On that occasion, who is Kelly. Kernahan has it knocked away. Johnston, brilliant on the bottom of the pack. The hand pass intended for Gleeson. Some soccer work, and he's got it! Well shepherded by Parsons. Kick up towards half forward. Bays can't take the mark. Potter gets it back to Bays. Distance-wise, he'll be okay. Accuracy is there. He's put it through.
Fell comes over the top. Falls to Johnston. Or was it Blackwell? Blackwell who picked it up. Got it to Kernahan. Potter. Bays. Mitchell. A snap at goal. It's good.
It's home.
They've never been in front all day. They're in front now. Less than a minute to go and the Swans lead by 5 points.
Collingwood and St Kilda fought out a thriller in round 5.
Half forward stumbles momentarily. A centering kick. Nixon.
Well done, Harvey. Weighed up his options.
Looking for Lockett. The big fellow goes back. Couldn't hang on. Kept his feet well low. Lockett for number 6. He's got it with the left foot. What a goal.
Manson comes a long way out, gives it to Scott Russell. A hurried kick down towards Barwick. He's clear, Doug Barwick. Can he emulate the feats of Tony Lockett? He can. Collingwood leads. Magpie fans have had their moments. Kitchke, bowing, a snap, a goal. St Kilda regain the lead. Well, this crowd of almost 70,000 have certainly got their money's worth.
Free to Dacos.
And there is a free kick going the way of Peter Dacos. Loose checking by St Kilda. Has not scored today. Can cover himself in glory. Kicks and goals. The Maggies are back in front. The very next round, St Kilda played host to reigning champions Hawthorn. And again, they produced a thriller.
50 metres to the goal line. At the back, Cracker. He goes!
Gary Ayres, 12 kicks, 15 hand passes. Brereton! The Hawks are fighting back. Dunstall in the square. He goes to the area. Frawley there. Oh, this might bounce through.
Goal.
It has bounced through.
The kick to the advantage of Brereton. He nearly takes the mark. He's quick to recover. He gives it to Morris. Goal coming up to Hawthorn. Morris misses. Point blank range.
The Hawks were in another close one in round 7, this time against Collingwood.
Finishes up with Wright, who has sliced them to pieces in this quarter. Through Dacos it goes. Mightn't be bad for the team. Francisco to Dacos. Dacos for goal, and the Pies are in front.
Paul Deere, high kick down towards Dunstall. Morwood right there. Gafer leads back. He's got some time now, Mick Gafer. Spears it across the goalpost and gave it away. Oh, what a tragedy. This to make it 5 points. He's kicked it. Oh, there's the throw in. Paul Deere, strong, emerges with the ball. It's a high kick. It's floating back. It could be a goal. Hawthorn are in front.
In round 8, Sydney produced one of the fight-backs of the season when they clashed with Geelong.
Eagle butters up at the back. With him is Lidner. Lidner soccers off the ground. Hinkley.
Oh, he's got another one.
It back. Kenny from Camperdown.
Oh, excuse me, please.
Gives it across to Carroll. Sydney go charging forward to Fell. Can't take the mark. Mitchell inside 50. Mitchell shoots. Mitchell goes. Sydney trailed by just 2 points. Flanagan won it.
They can play it around the boundary line, Geelong.
West Court, Henwood, a hurried kick. Brownless, the only one there. And Billy won't be in a great hurry, I wouldn't imagine. Swings it wide. It's a shocking kick. Shocking kick.
Carlton comes in from 40 metres. A handball over the top to Tui. He's put him under pressure. It's a goal. He's kicked it, has he? It's a goal. He's stuck it in. Geelong was involved in a number of tight finishes, another in round 12, this time against Collingwood.
Foot to the ball, kicks it to within goal-scoring distance for the Cats. Ablett can't get near it. Fletcher over the top. Scott and Kerrison, good play Kerrison. Hinkley again, a tap on. Hamilton should goal and put Geelong in front. From start to finish, both sides battling hard. Hocking, Francis, left foot snapshot by Francis. It's a great shot by Tony Francis.
Has had a great last quarter. Russell, looping hand pass to Rhys-Alakis. Kicks from right on 50. Another one would be interesting here. McEwen at the back, can't mark, but goals! 2 goals in 30 seconds to Collingwood.
And the very next round, Geelong led Carlton by 41 points at half-time and looked home. But the Blues had other ideas.
Steadies, shoots, and knocked back into play. No score for the moment. Sartori, McCrabb, Kernahan. Yes!
Well, there's been an absolute turnaround in the third quarter here at Princes Park. The Blues are into attack again through Fodia. Fodia's kicked to full forward. Kernahan, Silvani gets back. Verbeek's on his own. Silvani runs around. The left foot shot by Stephen Silvani! Woohoo! Carlton's half-forward area, Gary Hocking. Kick off the ground by Sartori, lands with Bruns. He could be caught. No, he's nippy enough to get around. The kick's a bit high, though. Oh, great mark taken by Herman. Herman, shot for goal. It's there. You're right, Peter. Yes, the Blues have hit the front in the dying minutes of the third quarter.
Meldrum has done well. Tony Malakanis to Brownless within kicking distance. Accuracy looks good for a goal.
DeRui's kick up towards 50 metres for Carlton. Hawker, handball, opportunity for Sartori, goes back towards Bassett. Bassett from 45 has kicked the goal. What a match.
Looking a lost cause at half-time, trailing by 41 points, Carlton turned it all around for a thrilling win. And that game, particularly for those two clubs, showed just what a rollercoaster season it was. And the rollercoaster ride continued into the State of Origin matches.
You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things. We've got every home appliance, car accessories and clotheslines, rollers, blades and brushes. Don't forget the finishing touches. You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things. You can do it with our power tools, our hammers, nails, bolts and screws, every kind of gadget. You can do it just like magic. You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things.
This week at Bow Repairs, prices have gone down under. Australian-made steel radials are down to only $49. And Dunlop Grand Prix are down to $89. Great down under deals from Bow Repairs, the best down under.
You know when I say cheese, I mean Kraft Cheddar.
It's not, Dad. It's Kraft Light.
Kraft Cheddar blended with cottage cheese. That's Kraft Light.
The cheese I mean when I say cheese.
Keep them off your lawn. Keep them off your garden. Keep them off your rubbish. To really keep away unwanted animal problems, you need Keep Off. Keep Off is the effective way to stop dogs or cats fouling around your house or garden. It's simple to use. Just scatter Keep Off around the affected areas. Keep Off's continuous action will give pets the message. Keep Off. Look for Keep Off at these leading stockists. Keep Off from Multicrop, a name you can trust. Keep Off. It really works.
Hey dudes, now's the time to get back to Jack's, because every time you get yourselves a Whopper, fries and Coke, you can buy a pair of these for $1. The coolest, the grooviest, the most hot new pair of sunnies in town for $1. Whoa! Each week for 4 weeks there's a different fluoro colour. Yellow, green, orange and pink. But they'll have to be around for long, so if you want them, gotta get back to Jack's.
What has turned an active, outgoing woman into a frightened child?
I don't know how to tell you.
Monday, a woman's worst fears become reality.
Every time I close my eyes, I can see him.
Too embarrassed to tell the police, she now lives in constant fear.
Every time I set foot out of the house. Who is he?
A country practice Monday.
State of Origin football took on a new look this year. 3 matches were programmed and many expected Victoria to win all 3.
State of Origin football. There's nothing like it if you listen to the advertising blurb. In league, it's mate against mate, state against state. In the AFL, it's been the battle of the Big V and the Crow Eaters. That is, until now.
Football in New South Wales, which is supportive of the AFL, is deserving of the opportunity of playing State of Origin football.
When that news reached South Australia, it was open season for the local press on the Big V. But South Australian League General Manager Lee Wicker, while disappointed, was diplomatic.
I think the AFL have perfectly their own rights to decide who they play. They've had enormous pressure put on them to promote football in New South Wales. I think the disappointment is that a State of Origin football has been a resounding success in the last 10 years, and to suddenly cut that line of promotion off, I think that's probably the greatest disappointment.
I then put the question to Victorian Chairman of Selectors, Ted Whitten. Why no South Australia?
Sandy, that's a stupid question. You know that's got to do with me. It's not my business.
Whitten likes nothing more than State of Origin football, but he did appear perplexed by the question.
Now, you know this has got nothing to do with me, don't you? This is not my decision. I'm in my position as Chairman of Selectors. We pick the side. We give it to the coach, Bill Goggin, and he takes it from there. And that's no easy way out for me. Let me tell you something first. We wanted to go back to South Australia. The coach and Barassi and Calvin Moore and Graham Ritz and myself and the players, Sandy. We wanted to go back to South Australia and play them there after last week. We didn't. But that's history. We'll wait for another time. Believe you me, we'll go back.
Hi, I'm David Rees-Jones and I'm playing for New South Wales, so look at you, Vix.
Without wishing to confuse you, David Rees-Jones is not a New South Welshman, but he is playing for them.
Being a born and bred Victorian, I prefer to be playing for Victoria, I suppose, which is a funny situation to be in, but I don't know, I'll just take it how it comes. As soon as I pull a jumper on, I'll feel part of it.
Perhaps State of Origin may not quite be the correct phrase, as a number of players representing New South Wales are so doing because they were overlooked by Victoria. But when players run out onto the ground, all that will be forgotten. The game itself takes over, and the one thing Ted Whitten dreads is having the colours of the Big V lowered.
If you're beaten, it would be terribly embarrassing. It would be a long trip to China, wouldn't it?
Indeed, Ted, it would be a long trip to China. Victoria went into the game against New South Wales a red-hot favourite. But football, as we all know, is a strange game.
Centre wing, Stoneham, Brownless gets into his back. Waitman, still Waitman. Handball good to Gleeson. It'll sit. Gleeson with a little one to love it. Handball on is very good, and here's a walk-up goal for Silvani, and he puts it through. Stein's off the ground. Oh, good take by Danaher, but he couldn't keep his feet. And Wright's kick for goal is all right, it's through. Francisca gets some distance. Ayres handled very good. Waitman and goals. It should sit for Robert. And Jeffrey, still with Jeffrey. Danaher's tackle was strong and brave. And it will be another ball down. And New South Wales at 10 points in front, and still Stevie Wright wants to argue the point. And there it is. Points in Sydney today. This was going to be a walkover. And the Vics can't believe it. Billy Goggin and Ted Whitten look on. And New South Wales celebrates. They'll talk about this for a long time to come.
After the match, Jim Danaher, father of the 4 Danaher boys, was asked if he was the proudest man at the ground.
Oh, I probably am, yes. Having one out there is terrific, but to have the whole 4 and have them on the ground there at the finish was tremendous.
Not only a big night for the Danaher family, but a big night for football in New South Wales. Heading the individual performances was John Longmire, who bagged 8 goals, as the Vics were humbled by 10 points. Ted Whitten didn't take that long trip to China. Instead, he went to Tasmania seeking revenge.
Kicks his second.
It'll only be about 55 metres out, Pete, so not without a chance, Doug Barwick.
He'll certainly be trying. Oh, what a roost! Look at the kick! A magnificent kick!
Whitney an opportunity now, runs inside 40 to Ramiro, closing on goal, over the top, in the square, Longmire.
Up to half forward, Lyon. A good tackle, a chance for Ramiro. And Ramiro shoots at goal, and that looks pretty good. Victoria coming closer, it's 4 points.
Pritchard from right half forward, long down towards the kick-off line. Langford, the fist, only as far as McCarthy, pulls it across his body. What a great start for Tasmania. Liberatore to Lyon. He's inside 40 with some time. He kicks and kicks truly. So the Victorians come back. 11 goals between them in this final term. McCarthy thumping it towards centre-half forward. Young's over the ball. Noonan does brilliantly. Alexander to Nichols from 35 metres out. Don't tell me. Oh, it's another goal. Langford sensing the danger, drifting across. Takes the mark. There's the siren. There's the gloom. There's the elation. So the Vicks came looking for salvation after Sydney. Today they've been denied by the fine Tasmanian side.
Triumph for Tasmania as they stormed home by 33 points, leaving the Victorian hierarchy scratching their heads. What to do for a win? Next stop, Perth, and a meeting with Western Australia under lights at the Wacker. Out the back it comes. The opportunity was there for Winmar. It still is. The kick is long, the kick is high, the kick is good. And effective. This time McGuan, who started the game extremely well. He pulls it into Ablett. Very little breeze here at the Wacker tonight. Cool conditions, ideal for football. The drop punt is on its way. Has he snuck it home? I think he has. First one to Gary Ablett tonight. Langdon forced to do the ruck work. At the bottom was Kickett. Pushed wide. An opportunity for Heady. Heads into the open goal and he puts one through. McGuan gets a hurried kick to the half-forward line. Bruns may get the run here. Neville Bruns away with a hand pass out in front of Lowe. He's on a tight angle. 25 metres out. He stabs it towards goal and he goes.
De Rui, is it Spalding? De Rui on the outer side. Long kick. Inside half forward. Mitchell behind. 10 metres out. Pulls it back and gets it.
But Lowe will be able to make amends with McGuan. He gets the hand pass away. The pass goes towards Gastev, who was in front of Tony Shaw. Ablett soccers off the ground and kicks a goal. Tony Shaw over the top to Danny Frawley. They're drifting it now to the half-forward line. Ablett will be the player. Great mark.
Madden decisively down to Izard. Over the top, rather untidy. Sumic pulls it back. Bacon goal square, bounces it through.
Winmar. Well, he's 55 metres out. Will he let one go? He wants to. And he pumps it long. He's gone.
The last 10 seconds of the game now, so the Big V pick up their first victory on the season as the ball runs out of bounds at right half forward. It will be thrown in. In fact, it won't be. There's the final siren, and Victoria proved too strong, and some smiles and relief on that bench. They came with a lot of pressure on them coming into this game.
Teddy, stuck it right up them. That's what you did. You stuck it right up them. Yeah. Oh, what a bloody relief.
We're on national television, mate.
Oh, sorry.
Just for a moment.
Oh, sorry about that.
It wasn't a great third quarter, but the boys fought back very, very well in the final term.
Yeah, it was an excellent. It's an excellent win for the players. They all deserve a tremendous amount of applause from everybody here tonight. The way they played the game, we are very much relieved. I can assure you of that.
And so at last, Victorian pride is restored with a 37-point win. Ted Whitten forgot all about that long walk to China and left Perth a very relieved man. Coming up shortly, we look at the season's major milestones and pay tribute to one of the game's greats.
7 Sport was there. Melbourne 56, Rome 60, Tokyo 64, Mexico 68, Munich 72, Montreal 76, Moscow Sarajevo 84, Barcelona 92, Melbourne 96. Live from Tokyo, a night of high drama, Olympic history and jubilation for the winning city. The decision, reaction from Tokyo and Melbourne. With Bruce McAvaney, Steve Vizard and Jennifer Kite. 8:30 Tuesday, the Olympic bid 1996 on your Olympic Network 7.
Look at all of these plants. They're in good nick, all right. I use Osmico controlled release fertilizer. Great stuff, this. Feeds the plants where they need it and saves me having to cart around bags of fertilizer. Osmico, it's easy to use. And what's even better, it'll last for up to 9 months, which is just as well in my line of business.
This week at Bow Repairs, prices have gone down under. Australian-made steel radials are down to only $49. And Dunlop Grand Prix are down to $89. Great down under deals from Bow Repairs, the best down under.
Welcome to DHL. Please enter your account number. Please enter the service you require. Please enter the destination code. Thank you for calling DHL.
Package for Africa.
I've got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me. So deep in my heart, you're really a part of me. I've got you under my skin.
Ah, can you smell that freshness in the air? It's Huggy Fabric Softener. It gives your whole wash that fresh,